Robin went long on his pants. Too bad his pants ain't trading on the cryptocurrency markets. What's going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday, and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. I am one of your co-hosts, David, and we are coming at you from our studio here in The Summer Was Very Weird, Las Vegas, Nevada, with our daily, only on the weekdays live shows. Before we get into the content, quick disclaimer, nothing that's said on this channel should be taken as financial advice, so please, as always, do your own research. Speaking of content, pretty obvious. Today, we're talking inflation, CPI numbers, Bitcoin's tanking, Ethereum's tanking, the stock market's tanking, and 3 of the largest investment firms have teamed up to create a crypto exchange. Which ones are they? What does this mean? We'll talk about all that. But before we get into the content, I'd like to introduce you to your other co-host. Hello, Robin.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, and the stale information, and we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. We also do the deep dives, game reviews, YouTube shorts, and I no longer wear shorts. It is no longer 100-degree weather here in Las Vegas. I will be wearing pants.
Yeah, it's only 99.
Put the studio cam up, in case y'all don't believe me. See the pants?
Well, that's an NFT right there.
And we also got some people in the house as well. We got a packed house in the studio. We got good friend Sandra up in here. Say hello to Sandra. I'd say. And then we also got Kyler over here. So up here checking out the
Any
production
relation to Kyler Murray? No, he said no.
All right. So big news in the traditional markets. CPI, the inflation numbers have come in, and apparently your money is not worth anything, or at least 8% less than it was last year. And are you surprised, David?
Actually, I am.
Yeah.
I am a little surprised.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you surprised?
Okay, take your time. No
Robin,
rush.
are you surprised?
You know, well, here's the thing. The number was
You
off
said
by
inflation had
it was
peaked.
off by 0.2%.
Okay, but you said it had peaked.
Don't bring up
I
all
thought it
stuff.
had peaked too.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It was inflation was at 8.5% last month. It's down to 8.3 this month. So we are trending downward. So inflation probably has peaked. The expectations was for it to come in at was it 8.3 and we came in at 8.1 and we came in at 8.3. So inflation not dropping quite as fast as everyone hoped. So what does that mean? We'll get into that in a minute. But before we do, I do want to jump off with the roll call. All right. So first in the chat, we got Jason. Round of applause for Jason. Jason, we love you. Thank you for being here.
Did you hold on. Stop the show. Did you just say, did the words love you come out of your mouth?
I said we. I didn't say I.
Caveat.
In a group
Okay,
format, I
caveat.
can dish out
All
love.
Okay.
So Jason, much love, man. First up in here, man. Now we got Tox, Brian Hamilton. Why you loud, gang? Jimmy, Marky Mark, Stereo 2 on the ones and twos, and in the chat as well. R.A. Daniel, and then we got who else we got?
Penalty kick. PK.
Oh, PK. Brokey Yoshi, Big Chili Willie, Sir Babe, PK, and then we got Crypto 420, Robert Salazar, Cito, Crit Cat, David Brumbello,
Bumblebee
Tuna,
Brombello.
and then
What
we
did
got
you say
Crypto
there?
Muscle, Nordy guy. What are you shaking your head about?
You and names, man.
Yeah.
I can't.
And then Tox, I think.
You see
Oh.
Marco Ferreira?
Oh, we got somebody new up in here.
Marco Ferreira.
Marco Ferreira. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Yeah, he brings up a good point. He said the core number is higher. Don't be silly.
Yeah.
And this is what the Fed bases their rate hikes on. Also, it looks like our friend Sandra has a fan in the chat.
Ooh. You got
Sandra, you're already a hit with our communities. Thank you.
they want you to come back. And then our most favorite, Crypto Neck in here. Big shout out to Crypto Neck. All right.
What is crypto leg?
Crypto leg. Are you a leg and thigh kind of guy? Or are you chicken breast? I would say chicken breast because your personality's dry and you're
Too early for chicken and barbecue sauce.
And you know, personality.
I don't know how the chicken breast is prepared. Which one brined? Is it brined? Is it breaded? Is it grilled? Is it pan roasted?
Does it have barbecue sauce on it?
Does it have barbecue sauce? That is the most important question. I don't want to waste any time, so I pulled up something funny on Twitter. Real inflation versus the CPI inflation. Obviously, I think everyone...
Is that Photoshop?
No. They actually... Yeah. There's... Never mind.
I wonder if he can smell... I'm just going to stop right there.
Yeah, there you go. His armpits. So we all know the CPI numbers are not nearly what we all know the real inflation number is. What I would wait for is the PCE number. That is the production or PCI number. Essentially manufacturing costs to manufacture good. That is how we know. That is what's going to be the closest to real inflation, not the CPI BS where it weights certain things and the basket of goods changes year to year. Obviously with CPI, housing and gasoline is huge. And with gasoline down, with natural gasoline down and oil down and energy down, it was a little bit of surprise to see the inflation numbers come in higher than forecasted. And what I've learned is these forecasts mean absolutely nothing. Every single forecast has been wrong, whether it's the CPI, whether it's the Fed funds rate, whether it's anything you want to put your hand on. The GDP numbers are always forecasted incorrectly. So there you have it. There's a real CPI versus the one we're getting. And also, one I want to share as well. This is Bitcoin versus inflation. This is compliments of Crypto Rank on Twitter. Definitely recommend you go follow them at CryptoRank_IO. So this essentially has a graph of Bitcoin versus inflation. And in the box is when the CPI numbers came out. Going all the way back to January, CPI came in at 7 and the markets rallied. CPI came in at 7.5 and the markets tanked, so on and so forth. I'll leave this up here for a minute or two so you guys can see it. But obviously, when the numbers come in higher than expected, it tanks. And you look at June 10th, right in the middle here. Expected 8.3 came in at 8.6. The markets tanked 1.5% in 30 minutes. The biggest change we saw, though, was the 7% where they expected in May, where they expected CPI to come in at 8.1, and it came in at 8.3. But also, if you remember, around this time is when Terra Luna, wait, was it Terra Luna or Three Arrows? One of those two completely crashed the market. So add the CPI numbers on top of it. And this is what we get. So just a couple interesting things I found on Twitter. But we'll get into all the CPI talk and CBC, whatever I'll talk about. So that's all I got. Robin?
We got a new member, guys.
We do have a new member. Who's the new member?
What?
Algosaurus? No.
Oh, Crypto Muscle has joined the Crypto Fam.
All right, Crypto Muscle.
Well, welcome to the club.
Tweet us a picture of your muscles and we will retweet it for you. Also,
Do you think
Algosaurus.
Crypto Neck and Crypto Muscle, do you think they're like working out together?
Crypto neck muscle. So also
Have you ever
Algosaurus.
seen the people in the gym doing the neck workouts? It's that's the funniest. That's
Why
the
is that
funniest
funny?
stuff. Yo, because they usually like tie a rope to their head and they're like
You're
dragging weights around with their head.
You're obviously not an athlete. Football neck exercises were a priority. You had to.
What about
I'm surprised that Algosaurus is here. I don't think anything in the title or thumbnail said Algorand in there.
we also got Jay Didden. Who up in here? Hola! Welcome, Sin City Crypto.
I said it's fake from the start. Yep.
And then let's get into some crypto here. So taking a look at Bitcoin, big pullback. We were at $2,200 as of yesterday.
2,200.
Or 22,000, excuse me. So big pullback. Obviously, the inflation numbers came out worse than we projected. So at 21 or at 20,800 right now. Do you think David? Do you think 19,000 is back in the cards again, or
Depends on what the Dixie does.
Yeah, I mean the Dixie rallied hard today. If you're not familiar with Dixie, that's a dollar cost average, the measure of foreign currencies compared to the dollar.
It just erased all the negative gains, which in the world of Dixie is a good thing. Negative gains are good. And it's back up to, it's almost at its 21-year high again.
You know what I forgot to tell people to do today? Hit this like button. Guys, where's the like button at? hit the like button. I don't know. We got 25 likes, 40 people up in here. That's no good.
A question from the chat for Dave.
For me?
Yeah.
What you got?
Has he seen the inside of a gym? My number one hater is back. Dave, drop your OnlyFans link. Bro, I was an athletic machine, man. I played college football, dude. You should have seen me.
Do you hear him living in the past?
You see me back in 2009.
He's like, how much you want to bet I could throw this football over those mountains over there?
I was not a quarterback. Look, Bitcoin seems to have found a bottom on the short-term time frame, and I'm going to go ahead and share my laptop here. So this is a 15-minute time frame on Bitcoin. We saw this massive red candle. This was it's UTC time, so I don't know. So about, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours ago.
London time.
London time,
King
right.
of England time.
So at 12:30 in London, we saw this big red candle. On the bottom here, I have the ADX, which is the average directional index. And we were getting ready to cross green over red, which would have been good, but no longer that. It looks like we're kind of flat. And then on the stochastics, we are oversold, which is a good thing. And looks like we're about to print another green candle. If we go over to the 1 hour chart, again, looks like we found a bottom. 20,700 seems to be a decent local support for Bitcoin. Still, I would stay on the sidelines. I don't think it's time to pull the trigger. Of course, this is not financial advice. So do as you please with your own money. You make it. But I would wait. We have in 8 days the FOMC meeting. Here's what you guys got to understand. Okay. The FOMC meeting is not just Jerome Powell saying we're going to raise it this much. It is essentially a panel of all the different Fed heads, the Federal Reserve heads of the Federal Reserve in like Atlanta, the St. Louis Fed. You also have other bankers, whatever the case may be. You have all those people essentially sitting around a round table and saying, all right, what are we raising it? I think 100 basis points is on the table. Robin, am I crazy?
Hell no. Yeah, no, they're going to stay the course, 75 basis points. The only thing that we really learned from the...
Okay, why is it off the table? If jobs numbers are still strong in their eyes...
Because when inflation was over 9%, it was at 9.2% or 9.1%, whatever it was, at the all-time highs, or not all-time highs, but the 40-year highs, some people were thinking they're going to do 1%. And at that point in time, they did 0.75. And so now we're at a lower inflation. You could make an argument that the interest rate hikes are actually affecting the economy and pulling down inflation, just maybe not quite as fast as you would like. And so we've already done 275 basis points rate hikes. Third one is on the table, and I think all it really does is cement the fact that come November, December, you're probably going to see another 275 basis points. I think that will then, going into the end of the year, I think that puts us at 4.5% on the Fed's fund rate. So that's my go on that. Also, big news today. Ethereum was under 1,500. Was under $1,600. Taking a look, we had Ethereum at right now at a little bit of a bounce back, 1,600. I was checking this before we went live. It was all the way down to 1,584. Obviously you have the merge coming up tomorrow. Can you believe it's tomorrow?
No,
it's
can't. I literally can't.
Yeah, 5 years in the making, 6 years in the making. Actually going to roll out tomorrow. So I do think we're going to maybe see a little bit with the CPI numbers, with Bitcoin going down, the rumor, sell the news. I do think that you could see $1,500 Ethereum tomorrow. What do you think? Do you think we're going to get a rally tomorrow?
I don't know.
When the hell is this thing supposed to go live?
The what?
This is 97% is already complete.
Yeah.
You're talking about
let me put it in Google.
Yeah, Google. So if the bears are hugging, that means it's time, right?
Yeah, so let's see. ETH merge.
What's up, AA Ron? AA Ron said he about to dip.
Okay, so 1 day, 10 hours. So you know what? It's going to be right around midnight tomorrow.
That's 34 hours.
Yeah. And then taking a look at some other movement. Everything is red in the market. Taking a look at the crypto
Look who's not
bubbles.
red.
Who's that? Luna Classic.
Both Luna tokens.
And Luna, yeah. And then
Okay, honestly, before you
What's
move
up?
on, go back.
¿Qué pasa?
Do you think, obviously, the Luna community was big. Obviously, they're still around. Do you think there's a chance, if enough time passes, do you think there's a chance that either of these tokens come
Hell
back?
no.
Zero
No,
chance?
projects are dead. They're just gonna bleed value out, and they're gonna get surpassed by other projects, and they're just gonna fade away. Simple as that. Now, stock market, Nasdaq down 3.74%. Big drop in the traditional markets. Obviously, disappointing inflation numbers are not only impacting crypto, but basically everything in the U.S. We do like to follow the Nasdaq because it follows pretty closely to Bitcoin or vice versa, and you know, obviously we're gonna cover the inflation. So inflation rose by 0.1% in August, with a sharp drop in gas prices. So we've seen the national gas price drop all the way down to $3.50. The consumer price index, which tracks a broad swath of goods and services, increased by 0.1% for the month and 8.3% over the past year. Excluding volatile food and energy costs, the CPI rose 0.6% in July and the 6.3% from the same month of 2021, so a year ago. Economists have been expecting headline inflation to fall by 0.1% and the core to fall by 0.3%, but didn't quite pan out that way. Taking a look at the actual numbers, this is from the
Bureau of Labor and Statistics.
Bureau of Labor Statistics, a federal government website. So the headline inflation. So for those of you who have not been following this, your money is now worth 8.3% less. Think about that. Let that sink in. In just 1 year, what you can purchase with $100 is now fallen by 8.3% in 1 year. That doesn't take into account the year prior, which I think in the year prior was 5%. So if you were to take compounding 5% plus 8%, you're substantially, and
What do you think the real number is? What do you think the real?
Oh, and this
inflation
is dressed up because honestly, the price of houses, which do not factor quite as heavy onto this, is up way more than 8%. I know my house was selling probably 20-40% more than it was a year ago. I know we have had a little slowdown in the housing market as of lately, but still. And here's gas is up, food is up. Food is up real heavy. Yeah. Look at this, up 13%, 13.5% for food at home. Cereals and baked goods, which is also Rocco's favorite. The pastries, the prices have rocketed.
What about
Rocco?
Barbecue sauce?
Are you cutting back on pastries lately?
Absolutely not. That's
Are you what? Okay, if you're on a tight budget, what are you cutting out so that way you can keep your pastry habit up?
So I get rid of the barbecue sauce.
Do you have a?
Yeah.
Do you have a nutritional label shirt
that's
on?
Exactly for my pastry. That's yeah. If you guys want to, that's the perfect.
He's got
a
a crypto facts nutritional. How did I not see that when you walked in?
Yeah, well,
I'm a busy guy. So.
Guys,
where can he find these? Where can he find all of these shirts that we're wearing right now?
Bam, right there.
Right there, Sin City Crypto merch store. So, guys, check it out. You can go get Big Rob's famous.
I got this
Ola
shirt on
search.
There we go.
Yeah, so
I thought it was fitting today.
You can get the Ola, which I actually just ordered another one in a different color, and then we have the Bitcoin blowing up. And you have the nutritional facts shirt on the website.
Yes, that's
okay.
Right there. One of the new editions.
Also, back to the nutritional facts. Dairy products is also up 6.2%, and fruit and vegetables are down. So dairy's up, fruit and vegetables are down. That is good for the vegans. If you are a vegan, you are not hit quite as hard as everyone else. So
there's
a good thing about having a trash diet. Now.
Here's one thing to keep in mind, you guys, is if they were to report the real CPI numbers, okay, Because with Social Security, you have to pay out what the cost of living is. So if they report the real inflation numbers and cost of living is up 15, 16%, it would put a strain on an already crippled Social Security fund that is expected to run out of money in less than 10 years. So you're never going to get the right inflation number. So how do we figure it out? We look at, we do it ourselves. You know how they pull these CPI numbers? They literally have surveyors with clipboards walking to businesses and say, hey, how much did you charge for this last month? How much are you charging for this month? Okay, 2%. Next one. That is literally how they do it. And year over year, the basket of goods changes. So as things get more expensive, so let's say steak, for example. A filet mignon gets so expensive, people stop buying it. So next year, guess what? Filet mignon is not going to be in the basket of CPI numbers. It'll be whatever people bought the most of, which is what was the cheapest. On top of that, the Social Security thing, we will never get the correct CPI numbers. So don't be fooled by 8.3%. It's not 8.3%. It's definitely in the double digits. I would even say it's close to double what the number is.
What is your, speaking of filet mignon, what is your cut of steak of choice there?
I like New York's.
New York's?
But not burnt ones like you did on your...
No, I'm telling you, man.
Ribeye.
This dude charred the crap out of a New York,
What are you
bro.
talking about, man? First of all, I like my New York medium, okay?
And
medium,
you cook that thing well
medium,
done.
medium to medium well, man. Like, you know, it's a fattier cut of meat. You got to, you know, that,
Okay,
that
so
fat,
if you like
that
your
fat
ribeye-
renders down.
Okay, if you like
And
your
it,
if you
it
like your New
absorbs into
York's
the meat.
medium, what do you medium well? What do you like your ribeyes? Well done?
I do like a medium well ribeye too, man. I don't like that chewy like meat, man. I'm telling you.
And you were a chef.
Now, a leaner cut of meat of filet mignon. I mean, for sure, that one.
For
Like a
sure, medium
bison.
well.
That one you can go medium rare for sure.
For sure, medium plus.
But when you got the heavy fat, like I'm telling you, like think about like tacos. You know, you got the skirt steak, super fatty. You want to cut that. You want to cook that thing all the way through. You know, because the fat melts down. Flavor.
Yeah, but the thing I
Fat
don't understand
plus
it.
fat equals flavor.
What the temperature really matter if then you're gonna ruin it with a sauce.
Yeah.
No one's eating barbecue sauce with steak, Rocco.
I don't know. I
feel like
don't know.
you do
I
know.
need to- I
You
need to
do know.
If you're gonna get a steak.
You're just trying to throw shade at me, bro. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Kenneth G then.
Y'all seen the article about having moving up?
So Kenny G with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Kenny G. Appreciate
I
that.
said y'all seen the article about the having moving up. I'm assuming you're referring to the Bitcoin having, not the Ethereum triple halving. I have not seen an article.
Here's the thing. The Bitcoin halving it's not set in stone on a date
It's the block.
because of when blocks are completing. They do vary. So there's an estimated time window. The only way that could fundamentally change would be with a BIP proposal, which would need to be voted on by the miners. Other than that, you can't really change the Bitcoin code. Maybe blocks are getting produced faster or...
Oh, shit. Here's what he's talking about. By the way, thanks for tagging us, my number one hater. The hash rate hits all-time high, which the next halving is projected now in 2023. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, we were talked about, I know this might sound like a loaded question, but I know we kind of talked about how the halving is going to, in 2024, would coincide with us coming out of a recession. But if we're still in a recession in 2023 and the halving happens, is that a good thing? I don't know.
Well,
what do you think?
Oh, the halving was kicked off the bull market. So you know what? If we kick off the bull market sooner than later, give me the bull sound. That's right. We need more bull market in 2023. I don't want to wait all the way to 2020. What are you laughing at?
I'm literally going to come in here one morning at 7 o'clock and just ruin all those sounds.
Dude, I love that is when you hear the bull sound, you know what happened.
All right, you know what, Robin?
The market's rallied.
You know what? You sit here and you berate me about how I think that the Bitcoin will decouple in the next year from the traditional markets.
Mm-hmm.
If this is true,
Yep.
and what you're saying is it's going to kick off the bull market, but we're still in a recession and traditional markets are down, are you saying that you were wrong?
I have been in this camp. Well, first of all, I think the stock market's going to rally by the end of 2023. Think about it. You have the recession. Generally, recessions last for technically 2 quarters, sometimes 3. And then...
but here's the problem. The reason
it's not going to last more than...
But here's the problem. The reason you see numbers start coming back up in Q3, Q4 is they start printing money, and they can't do that.
No, it's the holidays, bro.
What do you mean it's the holidays? People have less money. Their money is worth less. You think they're going to go spend $500 on a pair of Louis Vuitton shoes?
People spend more money during Christmas time.
Yeah, not during recessions. They don't.
People travel more.
Not during recessions. They don't.
So kids don't get presents on recession. That's what you're telling me.
They do, but okay. So if you normally
your kids maybe don't because you're the Grinch.
You normally spend $100.
It's like, son, let me explain what negative GDP in 2 consecutive quarters means. No presents for your ass.
I'm saying if you usually spend $100 per kid, like, you're probably spending $40, $50, and you multiply that by hundreds
Stop
of
being
millions
cheap.
of people.
Buy your kids some nice toys.
Says the guy who wouldn't buy his kid a $70 backpack and said, damn, that's $70.
I bought him that backpack.
Yeah, after you made the kid feel bad for picking a $70 backpack. I had to talk him into buying.
I wanted him to know
Robin's
that it was an expensive purchase. I wanted him to know it was an expensive purchase. I just started throwing out $70 backpacks without even giving some kind of interrogation. His kid goes, but Dad, it has like 7 pockets. He goes, well, find one that's got 4. He's 10 years old. He doesn't need 7 pockets.
Man. Okay, in all seriousness, though, what were we talking about? Oh, yes, recession. What I'm trying to say is the reason you'll see, okay, so back-to-back quarters of negative GDP growth equals recession, according to everyone but the White House. So we're going to take the White House out of it and say it is a recession. Well, what happens after Q2 of the second consecutive quarter? You start seeing money printing. You start seeing quantitative easing. You start seeing stimulus checks. You start seeing whatever else you see the government wants to do to upstart the economy. But this time is different because we're not going to be able to do that. The only reason Europe is printing money is because their people will literally either go bankrupt or freeze. We're not that dire here in the US, luckily, okay? But still, the point is, the government's tactics of how to fight recession and bring the economy out of it, their hands are tied.
We're going to be out of a recession by the end of... But
Do you know how many negative quarters we saw in the 80s when inflation was high? 5 negative quarters, bro. That is exactly what we're going to see this time around. 5 negative quarters. We've already seen 2. You got 3 more. You got Q3, Q4, and Q1 of 2023.
So
that's, in my opinion,
so then 5 negative quarters. So what if you add 3 more quarters?
I just said Q1 of 2023 would be the 5th quarter, but that is my baseline. That in my opinion, that is the minimum.
End of 2023 is, the stock market rallying, then you're saying that it's going to be 7 quarters? Because that's when Q3 comes up.
It's very possible. You know why else it's possible? Because United States exports are costing way more money. And so if you're familiar with how GDP works, it's consumer spending, business spending, government spending, plus net imports, exports. Government's not spending money. Consumers aren't spending money. Businesses aren't spending money, and exports are too expensive.
This time next year, stock market's going to start rallying. Bitcoin's going to already hit the bottom. And if the Bitcoin halving comes in at the end of 2023, I mean, that spells bull market. I mean, it has to.
I don't know.
Right? If the stock market's rallying and the halving is in.
Yes. If the stock market rallies and the halving is there. But I don't think that.
The thing is like you're not going to have 7, 8 negative quarters of GDP or, of the recession's not going to last that long. They generally last between 1 and 2 years. And you can make an argument that what were we, like 3/4 of a year in now? Recession? It started in January.
Q2.
January was the all-time high, so we've had to pull back since then. So basically January next year will be full year.
But okay. Yes. But my whole thing that I'm pushing back on is we've seen us come out of a recession in 1 year to 2 years, right? Because of money printing, because of quantitative easing. Well, when we don't have that, how long is it going to take? When the government can't push up the markets, how long is it going to take until the market does it themselves? That's the question.
2023 is how long it's going to take. The end of it.
Great job. All right. What about, did you go over the PCE, the core?
No.
Okay, let's do that.
I don't have it pulled up. But
you don't have the core?
No.
All right. Core came in at 6.3. Last month, last good. And that's why I said, so Can we agree 75? No, people say it's 80%. It was going to happen before these numbers came out today. Can we agree that 75 was a lock prior to today's numbers coming out? Yes?
It
was pretty much a lock.
Here's the thing: if you're going to come in a lot lower, then maybe if we would have came in under projections, that would have been one thing. But if we would have, but where we're at now, no, definitely not.
Well, at the end of the day, the Federal Reserve, they are the people that decide what the federal funds rate is going to be, and this is how we this is how it. That is what affects us in the market as investors, as people living in this country. It also affects people across the globe, and so what I'm afraid of is 75 to me was a lock. I think 100's on the table. I really think 100's on the table. If they can't do 100 now, when the job market's still good, according to the Fed, when there's 2 jobs for every 1 person out there, if they can't do 100 now, and the inflation is continuing to rise, when the hell are they going to do it? They're just going to keep doing 75 for a year and a half?
What I want to know is when we get to 100 viewers in the chat, because we're at 56 viewers right now. When we get to 100 viewers in the chat, we're going to open up the club. We got some new people in here, man. They ain't got no idea what happens up in here when we open up the club.
If you're new to this channel, please say hello. We'd love to give you a personal welcome to our crypto community.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm afraid of, though, is think about, and give me 2 minutes uninterrupted here, Robin, okay? I was talking to Kyla this morning. I was like, hey, man,
Hold on. It's best what you.
I was talking to Kyla this morning. I was like, look, I am legitimately thinking about selling almost everything I have, stocks, crypto, everything. Because when you zoom out and look at macro, what's happening, okay? People are saying Russian troops are pulling back. Sure, they're pulling back, but guess what? They're firing more missiles. Now they're targeting Ukrainian infrastructure. And if you don't already know, Ukraine is one of the top exporters of wheat. India has stopped exporting wheat. So you got the whole global export system thrown off kilter. You have a country like China who is ratcheting up tensions with Taiwan. If they go to war, well, guess what? The U.S. is going to have to either go to war or they're going to have to say, hey, sanctions. And guess what? China is the largest exporter of goods to the U.S. So what's that going to do to prices in the supply chain? On top of that, the Fed's going to continue to raise interest rates. What happens? It tightens the U.S. dollar and it increases in value. But on the flip side, Europe is going to be printing euros because of the energy crisis. So what's that going to do? That's going to weaken the euro, which holds the largest amount of weight in the Dixie. U.S. dollar goes up, Europe prints more money, their value or their currency gets devalued. Dixie shoots up to $120. We're in a recession. You got global tensions going on. Every time the Dixie has gone up, Bitcoin has tanked. And imagine when it gets to 120, all-time highs. What do you think is going to happen to the price of Bitcoin?
What the hell is wrong with you, bro?
What do you mean what's wrong with me?
Yo, like
what did I say that is not correct? What did I say that you...
How about the fact that all week, all month, you've been talking about we're not going to go lower. Bitcoin found its bottom. And you know what?
Here's the guy who flip-flops more than his flip-flops.
I'm wearing shoes today. First of all,
as new information comes to light, you're able.
Are we not close to the bottom? Okay. Are we not close to the bottom?
Now I don't know anymore. So I thought inflation had peaked. This is before Europe was planning on printing more euros.
How much further drawdown can you have in Bitcoin? The one mentality is you don't want to have is you don't want to sell at the bottom. You don't want to sell the bottom.
This is not the bottom.
It's pretty damn close.
If I have 10
Why are you sitting here on a cryptocurrency
Bitcoin
show with Bitcoin down almost 80% from its all-time highs from 60,000? You're telling people that, hey, I'm about to sell all my crypto at the bottom or pretty damn close to it. That is the worst idea there is. Do not sell your crypto, people. No, not financial advice. You are at the bottom. We're at 20K Bitcoin. What is it going to go down to? 18,000?
What happens if you sell right now? Let me ask you a question. If you knew Bitcoin was going down to 10K, would you sell your Bitcoin right now? And
How
buy
about
back in
this?
at 10K?
What if it doesn't go down to 10K?
I'm just giving you.
And you sell all your Bitcoin. And you just watch it. You just watch.
I'm giving you a hypothetical scenario. Answer the question.
Have you ever sold a crypto? Let me ask you a question. Have
No,
you ever
answer mine and I'll answer yours.
your question?
If you knew Bitcoin was going to go down to 10K, would you sell at 20K?
If I knew where crypto was going to go, I would be a millionaire and not even have this show. I'd be sitting in Miami.
Why can't you answer the question? If you knew it was going down to 10, would you sell at 20?
What kind of question is that?
The answer is yes then, correct?
It's like, okay, if you're going to bet on the Super Bowl, but you know who's going to win, how much money are you going to bet? Like, what do you mean? Like, you're asking hypothetical questions that make no sense. If I knew the price of Bitcoin, I would not even have a show. I would literally just be financially set for life. So if I knew it was going to 10 million, if I knew
you are probably the most annoying kid in your neighborhood to play with.
How? Okay, if I knew Bitcoin's going to 10,000, I'm going to put in a shit ton of short positions and just make money all the way down.
And you wouldn't sell any of your Bitcoin?
No, I would just short the crap out of the market and on 10x leverage, and then just
you are full of crap, man. You're completely full of crap.
Telling you. No. And on top of that, here's the thing. Like, why would you want to sell with prices as low as they are? If anything, you're just trying
to get it cheaper, you can buy more of it.
What do you mean? Well, how much cheaper are you gonna get it?
10 grand.
You literally think Bitcoin? Like you've been preaching. You've been preaching that 18,000 was the bottom.
Okay,
and you were like, and then I asked you 3 days ago.
Can I explain myself?
I said 17,000, and you said I don't think so.
Robin, can I explain?
And now all of a sudden, you didn't think 3 days ago 17,000 was on the table, and now 10,000.
Robin,
10?
Listen to me.
Like if you would have said 13, maybe I wouldn't be raising my voice. I
Can
wouldn't
you
be
mute
putting
his
in the
microphone so I can explain myself on my own position here?
And then we're going to move on, right?
Yes, then we're going to move on. I said 17 was in. My thought was that as the U.S. tightens their monetary policy, so will other countries, and the Dixie will now make all-time highs. I also thought inflation had peaked. Well, the numbers are coming out. Everything we're seeing, that's not true. So I reserve the right to change my opinion based on new information that's being brought to me.
You know what?
So
go ahead.
If we go at the rate we're going, I do not think 17K is the bottom. I think we're going lower. I think 10K to 12K is more of the bottom.
Liquidate all your crypto and let me know how that goes over in about 6 months.
That is what I am doing, all right? I haven't done it, but I'm thinking about doing it.
Also, we got some new people in the chat.
Or you can be like Robin and just hold your stuff. All right, who we got?
All right, so we got
Burr.
We got Crypto Abuser. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, we got Goliath up in here.
Ooh.
Hola!
Gaming.
And who was one other person as well?
Go down. Burr.
Who?
Burr.
Burr?
Burr.
Burr?
Burmac.
Burmac.
Big Mac.
He's been here before.
No, Big Mac has not been here before.
Big Mac's been here.
Big Mac.
Big Mac. Hola! If you haven't been here. Okay.
Thank you. Go. What do you say? This dude is gonna.
And,
this dude in the glasses. I'm David. By the way.
And crypto needs Red Bull.
Wait, what?
Also new in here. So, hola.
Yeah. Crypto abuser said I should abuse you by slapping you. That's a good point, CB.
That's the other segment that comes after the show.
Yeah. Members only. Okay.
Marky Mark says, gentlemen, there's a lady in the room.
There is.
So stop arguing.
But the lady's one of the homies. So we treat her like a friend, and we talk like we're friends. We talk to our friends, we curse, we yell at each other. So, anyways, what else you got?
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
Let me swap over here. So we have a lot of big news today. So what we're gonna kick off with is this: 3 investment giants are launching a crypto exchange. It's not, hey, we're integrating crypto. Hey, it's not, we're giving accredited investors access to Bitcoin. No. Citadel, Fidelity, and Charles Schwab are partnering to launch a cryptocurrency exchange. It will be called EDXM, and they are to target U.S. retail and institutional investors. Some of the highlights of this exchange, they will be fully compliant. What does that mean? We'll discuss that in a second. And it's going to be a mix of what people in traditional finance are used to as far as an exchange and what people in the crypto space are used to as far as exchanges. They're going to focus on liquidity, transparency, and user experience. And I want to read a quote from the EDXM's board of directors. This is sourced from Finbold. Crypto is a $1 trillion global asset class with over 300 million participants and pent-up demand from millions more. Unlocking this demand requires a platform that can meet the needs of both retail traders and institutional investors with high compliance and security standards. The gentleman who is pictured here, forgot his name, but he will be the Jamil something. He will be
Great.
the CEO of this new exchange. Now, Robin, you bullish, you bearish?
I'm bullish, but at the same time, I don't think this is like, I don't think it's super bullish, put it that way. You're offering crypto services, you're offering an exchange, you can buy and sell crypto. I think that, a lot of investors, if you wanted crypto, you could have bought it. You can go on Coinbase, you can go on Binance. It's another exchange. Now, there are people that, are in the Fidelity ecosystem, on the Charles Schwab ecosystem. And so they're comfortable, being there and using their services. So I'm sure it'll bring some new people into the space, but I wouldn't go as far as saying it's going to kick off a bull run or it's going to, price of Bitcoin is going to rally by 5-10% off of something like this. But you're just seeing that mainstream adoption. You're seeing these old legacy companies that had downplayed crypto for so long and bashed it and said that it was a rat poison and all these other quotes. So, the sentiment was,
You're wrong.
A couple years ago, the sentiment was, why are you smiling over?
That's right, because that's your trigger word. When I say you're wrong, you get triggered.
Okay. Anyways, bullish news. Nothing moonshot crazy.
This is extremely bullish for two reasons. For one reason, what breeds excellence is competition. And when we're in a capitalist country and a capitalist economy, you need competition to lift up the rest of the people in the sector. And so when these three investment giants from the world of traditional finance come in here and they set up a crypto exchange and they see an influx of people creating accounts, some of those will be taken from Coinbase. Some of those might be taken from Binance. Well, guess what? What do companies do when they start bleeding out money and bleeding out members? Guess what? They look back and say, all right, how can we improve? What are they doing that's right? Maybe their customer service is really good. Maybe their fees are lower. Maybe their user interface is better. Maybe their security is better. Maybe they offer insurance. I don't know. But all I know is it'll elevate the rest of the exchanges in the cryptocurrency sector. On top of that, yes, I agree with Robin. This isn't a bull market catalyst, but just like on the show, we continue to do 5 live streams, 5 videos throughout the bear market when there's no viewers. We're building our platform so when the viewership does come back, then we'll be set up for success. Same thing that these companies will do. They'll start onboarding people. Yeah, the retail investor and the institutional investor might not be willing to put a lot of money in now, but guess what? When the time comes to put a lot of money in, they're already going to have accounts. They're already going to be familiar with the platform. And so you're setting up a baseline, a foundation. When the money does start rolling in, it'll be that much quicker to pump the market. So that's my take on it.
No, 100%. It's providing liquidity. It's plugging new users in that might not use Coinbase and Binance because it's not a label they're familiar with. And so if you are using Charles Schwab and like you go onto their website and you have a tab at the top that says crypto, and then you can just easily see buy, sell, and trade crypto, you're probably more likely to use it. And when you increase liquidity, you increase people's exposure when it comes to crypto. When people do get excited about it, and you hear people at work and your friends and family are up and calling you and like, hey, what's this crypto thing about? When that moment comes, it gives all that much more gasoline for the to rocket to.
Speaking
rise.
of gasoline, Jimmy continues to gas up our community by offering gifting out memberships. So he gifted another 5 memberships out. Jimmy, the official hype man of Sin City Crypto and the official tech lead of Sin City Crypto as well. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Guys, make sure you have. So there's a little thing on the YouTube chat. It'll give you a notification to allow gifting. If you want to be gifted a membership, a free 1-month membership, make sure you have that on. So Jimmy does this almost every show.
And also we got somebody new in here. Mike, new in the chat. Hola! Welcome, Sin City Crypto.
Where's Mike?
Just straight Mike.
Straight Mike.
Nothing else on there.
So we can all agree, though, that the average investor, okay, so we're trying to pull mainstream in here. We're trying to pull the people that are just, been putting money in their 401k, buying stocks, whatever. We want them to start investing in a cryptocurrency, correct? Are they more comfortable setting up an account with Coinbase or Binance, something they have zero idea about? Or are they more comfortable setting up a crypto account with a vendor they're already familiar with, like Charles Schwab, like Fidelity.
Well, don't forget, Fidelity did offer crypto services as far as integrating into your 401k earlier this year.
Correct.
And so now you can.
But that was through indirect exposure. This is direct exposure.
Two different things. But what I'm saying is that Fidelity, stands out of the three here because one, they have a crypto department or crypto team that they have a large amount of people they've hired. And so I would expect this to be another step into integrating crypto. Obviously, these traditional hedge funds and investment brokers, they are seeing the potential for crypto and the potential money that's there and the future. And there's no doubt that they're getting ahead of the game. And so if you want to integrate Bitcoin into your 401k, you can do one of the oldest and largest financial managers out there to do so. And now they're also running an exchange in partnership with two other giant juggernauts when it comes to legacy finance. So it is pretty bullish.
At the very, and I know a lot of people we don't want traditional finance getting, but guys, at the end of the day, if we want crypto to become, it's coming. So we either find a way. Look at the positives, okay? There's always positives and silver linings in every situation. In this case, for me, if I were to take just to dig deep and find something, it would be like competition. It will raise the standards of the rest of the cryptocurrency exchanges out there. Binance, Coinbase, KuCoin, they're going to have to step their game up. And so it's only going to help everyone in the space. All right, let's move on. Let's talk some Ethereum news. Ethereum sees huge outflows. This is sourced from Cointelegraph. ETH-based digital asset investment products are seeing outflows of over $61 million over the last 7 days. This marks the 5th straight week of outflows. Also, if you remember, last week or a week before, we covered this. Only 75 or less than 75% of nodes were merge ready. Now, the number has jumped up to 84.6%. We saw what happened when not all the nodes are ready. Blocks were missed. And so looks like we're heading in the right direction there. But we talked about this on Debate Crypto yesterday. Institutions and people with a lot of money, the risk of what essentially Robin called fixing an airplane mid-flight, they don't want to take that kind of risk. They'd rather have their money on the sideline. Sure, they might miss out on some gains, but they're also minimizing their downside as well. So the money is going to be parked on the sideline once the merge happens and everything is smooth. I would give it a month. I don't expect it to be live 2-3 days and then these institutions start pouring money into it, but I would say anywhere between 3 to 6 weeks. We should, depending on macro, start seeing these institutions who've been wanting to get into Ethereum or who were and pulled money out to put money back in. Rob?
Yeah, man, it's what are you laughing at?
Dude, this is a big sigh. Yeah, man, that's
what's happening, bro.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you nailed it on the head. I don't really have too much to add.
You're not surprised that these institutions took money out, right?
Well,
I mean, 5 straight weeks.
100%. If you're playing with other people's money and there is a major upgrade coming out that could, realistically, it could go wrong. It could break. It could not work as planned. And in doing so, if you have a ton of exposure to to said project and it's other people's money, maybe it is a better idea to just maybe sell, wait for the upgrade, make sure it turns on and works, and then get back in it. I think that's a smarter move. I know we discussed yesterday, maybe on a more of a personal level, taking out more of an insurance by putting in short positions in futures trades or even a leverage trade. You could go that route, but obviously as an institution, if you have other people's money at stake, it's not really on the table to do something like that. So selling, waiting for the merge, and then entering back in is probably makes the most sense. So
yeah, and Daniel brings up a good point. Majority of them, the larger buys do happen over the counter, so it doesn't affect the order books. But you never know. All right. What? Cryptos Are Us is in here. Okay.
What's up?
What's up, George? George, one of our favorite content creators out there. I know a lot of his community members came over to us He was kind enough to share. We met him in Miami. He was kind enough to share our YouTube channel to his 70,000 people that watch his show. So big shout out to George. We appreciate you. George, I'm gonna make it my mission to bring you on the show because I know a lot of our community likes you, and we have a lot
That's
of people.
where
from
Big Chili Willie came from.
Yeah, we had a lot of people that came from George. So and his content's great. So if you haven't checked out Cryptos R Us, highly recommended. Go check it out. Great content. I think this guy puts up like 4 or 5 videos every single day.
Whose channel was he on today?
He was on Coffee and Crypto this morning. He was, yeah. So George, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. All right, let's move on. We're moving on to some proof of work. The fork plans are officially released. This is sourced from Decrypt. The launch date is set for September 15th. Which they said about 24 hours after the merge goes live. So let's say the merge gets pushed back, a day, then this would get pushed back a day as well. Also, some of the big exchanges that are expected to support the new ETH token or already are supporting it are Poloniex, Bitfinex, and a big one is Coinbase. This is a quote from an Ethereum Classic developer. The main sell point could be proof of work is more secure, but they sell it under miners need to earn money. Why? That's stupid. That's not why people would use a blockchain. Safety would be a better reason. Robin.
I've made this point a couple of times when it comes to this ETH proof of work, and I just find it hard to believe that you can copy an entire smart contract ecosystem and all of the contracts on it, all the ERC20 tokens, all the NFTs, you can just copy all of it and have a duplicate of it, and it would just fly. Like in the past, when we've seen forks happen, when these situations have happened, and you forked a chain, what have we seen? Not smart contracts. And so you've seen Bitcoin fork, but it's pretty much just a wallet address with a token, right? With the Bitcoin token.
Yeah.
And so same thing can be said with Ethereum Classic. That happened before smart contracts were live. And so you find yourself in a situation where every single ERC20 Tether token is duplicated.
Yeah.
And every single NFT that has been minted is duplicated. And you would have to have everybody sign on. Everybody that offers that smart contract, every DApp, every exchange, every ERC wallet, all of that would have to support and sign up and get on board with this ETH proof of work. The only way this thing has success, in my personal opinion, would be if there was a fundamental issue with Ethereum on the merge. Then obviously by default, you can just scale right back. You can go back to the fork. That would make sense. But barring that doomsday self-nuke destruction scenario, it ain't gonna work. Do you disagree or do you agree? Or I mean, does it kind of make sense? Am I missing something? Because maybe it'll hold some value. People just ignore the NFTs and smart contracts, but it can't last. I'm sorry if you already mentioned this because I was looking at something when you were talking. But the only chance I think this ETHW token has there's a chance is if the merge just completely fails. I don't know if you already. What I said. That's what you said. Okay, so yeah, we're in congruence there. But here's the thing: people are going to hold on to their ETH tokens because obviously when you duplicate the network, you're going to get airdrops. That's what happened with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Anyone who held Bitcoin on chain was airdrop Bitcoin Cash, and we saw the market cap of Bitcoin Cash rise. I believe it got in the top 15, maybe even the top 10. I could be wrong. Someone correct me if you already know that. So people are expecting kind of the same thing. So it's like, all right, even if I think ETH's going to drop to $1,200, I don't want to sell my ETH at $1,800 because I want these airdrops. But here's one thing to remember, guys, and we've talked about this on the show before. We're going to say it again. When you get airdrops, guys, when something like this happens, the scammers, this is their perfect opportunity. When you get airdropped something into a wallet or your hardware wallet,
Do not interact with it right away. Give it some time. Give it, I would say, 3 to 7 days. I don't care if the price is up 600%. The last thing you want to do is interact with a token and then it just completely takes over your wallet, drains all your funds. Or if you don't want to wait and you want to be able to dump it right away, move all other funds, including your ETH, out of that wallet before you interact with that token. That way, if something is wrong, there's nothing in there that can steal. But please, please, please be careful. There's a lot of great accounts on Twitter I'd recommend you follow that kind of do all the research and digging, stuff that I have no clue about, how to read a code in a smart contract and what it means. But just be vigilant. Don't fall for it's up 1,500%. I want to cash out. Next thing you know, all your crypto is gone. Could happen, but again, proceed with caution.
Speaking of being down in percentage, the NASDAQ is down 4.1%.
Damn.
This is a huge drop. I don't think we've seen this in, I don't think we've seen a 4% in quite some time. I think maybe this was it 3 months ago. I think was the last big drop like that.
We actually, so the IXIC is the NASDAQ. We saw I'll tell you right now.
And Bitcoin
from open to close.
Still dropping.
Yeah,
Bitcoin's
we saw
at 20,700.
We saw a 4.25% drawdown back on August 26th.
And HP with a 699 sticker. That's a sticker, right? Yeah.
Let me see.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
H-Pizzle. That is a sticker. Thank you, HP. Appreciate you, my friend.
Sticker.
H-Pizzle.
Can we get a round of applause since he's there we go. All right. Yeah, so Bitcoin's down.
Yeah, like I said,
700.
4.26 was the biggest candle I saw. But obviously,
we're going to be testing this 20K region again, I think, tonight. What do you think? 20,100, 20,200?
Dude, the Dixies.
Yeah, I mean, as big a pullback as we got in the traditional markets, I do think 19 is probably on the table.
Look at this,
again.
Look at this here. Look, give me 2 seconds. I want to do something. I want to plot.
And
yeah, so
I'm really curious to see Ethereum's price movement tomorrow, man. I think everybody is. What do you think will happen if there's some hiccups on the road on the rollout?
On ETH?
Let's say ETH's network were to go down for a couple hours or something like that. I don't think that's ever happened, but I'm just saying that something along that nature where it's not completely destroyed or broken, but fundamentally has some issues. Let's just say I know during the test net they had an issue where a lot of the blocks weren't getting validated. So I don't know.
So anytime, sorry guys. All right, so
What do you got? You got a chart?
yeah, so I got Bitcoin plotted up against the Dixie. Candle, you have the DXY, and orange, you have Bitcoin. And what I want to look at is the size of these candles. So look at the size of this candle here as it goes up. Bitcoin drop, and this is here. Let me a little bit better. Okay, this isn't. All right. Anyways, what I noticed was when the Dixie had a large candle, and I'm just going to take this away because this is not the way I expected it to. So when we look at a candle of this size, okay, so this is almost a 1.5% candle, which might not seem a lot in the world of crypto because we see movements like that on the daily. But look at the size of this candle. The last time we saw the candle this size was back on July 5th. And Rob, do you want to cross-reference Bitcoin on this? July 5th, how much Bitcoin fell? Because I know today Bitcoin fell about 6%. And this candle was huge. And so what we're looking at is this 110 level here. Will we get there in this candle? Probably not. There's about 2 hours left of trading, or about an hour and a half left of trading. But guys, expect this number to come back up leading up until the FOMC meeting. And obviously after the FOMC meeting, when they do announce a rate hike.
Yeah, the July 5th here, this is when Bitcoin went from 31,000 to 20,000.
Okay.
That,
So
that
obviously it wasn't all the Dixie.
That was what kicked off the big leg down.
Yeah.
Where everybody freaked out. And then
What about July 11th?
11th? That was the bottom.
That was the bottom. And then
Or
look
that's
at that.
when
Dixie started coming back down. So this is something we're going to keep an eye on. Also, another thing I'm going to keep my eye on is the euro dollar. So this essentially measures. Oh damn! We're gonna if this keeps going down, if this euro dollar market goes down to under this level here, I would expect a 100 basis point hike coming. This is essentially all the dollars that are held in bank accounts across the world that are not. That don't have that are not either federally regulated or have an account with the Fed. And so this has been an extremely accurate precursor to what the Fed's going to do as far as monetary policy. I've went over this before. Right now, we're seeing a big red candle printing. If we get under this level, if we see a big gap down like we saw here, I would expect a 100-point basis hike.
Also, forgot to mention, today we will be on Rice TV. If you're familiar with Rice TV, big fans of his channel. We've been on Around the Blockchain with him before. So we're doing a little collaboration. We're going to go visit his channel. So if you guys aren't familiar with Rice, go check him out. We'll be on at 2 p.m. our time, right?
Yeah.
So 5 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Vegas time. Come support Sin City Crypto. Come support Rice, and we will. We saw that you guys pulled up and were hanging out with us.
Man,
both.
that made me so proud, dude.
Yeah, it was both Around the Blockchain. I saw you guys were there, and also in Debate Crypto. You guys were active there in the community, so pretty impressive. I know a lot of channels that have thousands upon tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of subscribers don't have quite as active of a community, at least in the chat, as we do. So that's always fresh to bring people over.
Our community is the bomb. Also, Brokioshi said, can you share some of that info on Twitter? Absolutely. We will. 100%. I want to share something interesting. The U.S. Treasury Department, if you're not familiar, and OFAC, they sanctioned and banned Tornado Cash. You remember that, Robin?
How can I forget?
Obviously. Well, guess what?
Still scarred.
People had a lot of questions, and so the Treasury decided it's time for some facts, some frequently asked questions. This is from directly the U.S. Department of Treasury, and I want to scroll down here.
How often are you on this website? I'm just curious.
What is prohibited
in my life?
It's saved in the bookmarks.
What is prohibited as a result of OFAC's designation of Tornado Cash? It said, while engaging in any transaction with Tornado Cash or its blocked property or interests is prohibited in the U.S., but interacting with open source code itself in a way that does not involve a prohibited transaction with Tornado Cash is not prohibited. For example, U.S. persons would not be prohibited by sanctions from copying the open source code and making it available online for others to view, as well as discussing, teaching about, or including open source code in written publications such as textbooks, absent additional facts. Similarly, U.S. persons would not be prohibited by U.S. sanctions from visiting the Internet archives for the Tornado Cash website, nor would they be prohibited from visiting the Tornado Cash website if it again becomes active on the Internet. So,
this is so backwards.
This is ass backwards. I think that's the word.
So they literally said,
this is, as George Bush would say, this is ridiculified.
Ridiculified.
You know, he always made up
somebody
words.
threw a shoe with George Bush.
That was
Quick
amazing.
reflexes.
That was amazing.
That guy made up more words than you do.
But the thing is here, they say, for example, a U.S. person would not be prohibited from sanctions for copying the open source code
And making it available online.
So here's the thing.
So the
They're
founders yeah, go ahead.
So they're literally saying that, hey, this is illegal. The code Tornado Cash is illegal, but you can copy it and run it again, and that's cool. How does that make any sense?
Hey guys, we have this we have the code from the founders. You can't? No. But if you want to
The thing
copy
is,
it,
What about if you are not a U.S. person?
well, then obviously this sanction doesn't matter to you.
If you are, just
are you? You sound nervous, Rocco. Are you like? Are you here illegally, or what's going on?
Yeah, my dual citizens.
He's been smuggling in barbecue sauce. He's afraid he's gonna get caught.
Yeah.
Rocco's like, what if you're not a
Who's
U.S.
the source of the
citizen?
barbecue sauce?
What if you're not?
He's gonna open a U.S.
Guys.
Department of Treasury of barbecue sauce page.
You know, I'm gonna be completely honest. When this whole sanction thing was first announced, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But after doing more research, this is huge.
There's a lot of
This is huge.
There's a lot of open source broadcast code out there. OBS is a big one.
Well, here's the thing.
and
You got to remember, like, you got to think past just Tornado Cash. Imagine Vitalik Buterin hadn't launched Ethereum yet. This happens.
Well,
and someone like
internet.
Vitalik, with you know, being as smart and as, you know, progressive as he is, maybe would have never launched Ethereum because he was afraid he was going to be put in jail.
A lot of the internet programs that we grew up on was open source. That's kind of the backbone of the internet revolution and age was this open source, you know, material. So
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought of something a little interesting. I figured I would show you guys. All right. I want to. So obviously we talk about this project a lot. It's one of our favorite projects. This will actually be the next video we're doing. So Flow's coming out either Friday or Flow will be published either Thursday or Friday. And our brand new segment, it's gonna be super, super fun. I am like super stoked about this. You guys are gonna absolutely love it. This is something that has the potential to go absolutely viral. I'm talking 2, 3, 4, 5 million views. We'll see if that happens or not. But outside of Flow, another project we really like is Near Protocol. And I did some digging. I'm like, all right, they had their NearCon. It's still not 100% over yet. But what are some of the biggest things that came out of it? And why is Near so awesome? Here's Near Protocol, the latest news and updates. Sources from multiple websites, including Decrypt, Cointelegraph, the Near website themselves. Now, earlier this week, they did announce a $100 million fund for Web3 to focus on the burgeoning entertainment, fashion, and sports sectors in Web3. Also, big news from Tether for Near. USDT is launching on Near Protocol. And this might not sound like a big deal, but if you take into account, Tether is only on 12 chains. And Near is now one of them. The unhackable chain. 2 major attempts to hack the Rainbow Bridge and Near Protocol itself were diverted in a matter of seconds, 20, 30 seconds. Minimal amount of money was lost, negligible, like nothing. So a lot of people are saying it's the unhackable chain. Also, they are launching now. Near gets a lot of flack for being too centralized. They are launching the Near Digital Collective, also known as NDC. You might know it as a DAO, and they aim to decentralize the decision making in the ecosystem. Robin?
I love me some Near. Love me some Near. Nah, man.
So I know you were walking our guests out when I was going over this, but Tether is launching USDT on the Near chain, which Near now becomes one of only 12 chains that feature USDT. I think this is pretty big. I don't know. And then what do you think about this $100 million fund for Web3? So I think Near's putting up 50 million. The other 50 million is coming from VCs.
I'm not trying to discount for what it is, but you know, there's a lot of networks that are using Tether, 12 to be exact. And I don't know. I feel like there's always these funding rounds with all these projects. I think it's just the norm at this point. And you know, if you're stagnant and you're not raising money and capital and trying to grow your vision, you're going to get left behind. And really bullish on Near. I mean, the fundamentals on Near is great. And I mean, top to bottom, what they have in their ecosystem, their DeFi that they have on the horizon, all of the dApps, the market adoption, I don't know, man. I'm really bullish on Near. I think that's probably one of my favorite pickups for the. Let me take a look here. One of my favorite pickups on this market. How far down the market cap is?
They're in
Near?
the top 25, I believe.
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be one of those chains that. Why is my laptop is like freaking out here?
But prices are about to start dumping.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, my web browser is like doo-doo here. Anyways. Why is this thing not working? Near. I'm just trying to pull up the price. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to pull up Near's price action. Oh, here we go. Finally, it started working. All right. So, Near Protocol, number 23 on the market cap list. I look at this has a lot of the similarities of, say, Cardano on the last bull run. Because you look,
I would say more Solana, my friend.
No. I'm
talking about price action.
Yeah, I'm talking about 2016 bull run. I know Cardano kind of bottomed out though. It had a huge rally, but let's see. Came out in October, or the charts here. I know they had the ICO earlier, but price action here for this chart starts in October of 2020, and then got as high as $20 basically, and down to $4. So, I mean, I could see this easily hitting the last all-time highs of $20. Fundamentally, I would probably put it at $40-50 as a pickup.
$40-50
on the next bull run. So forecasting more out to 2024.
Here's what I'm thinking, dude. Is
and you could make that argument with a lot of these, as long as your layer one is building in the bear market, which that is the biggest sign for me. So is your project quiet, not in the headlines? Because I've seen nothing but Polygon, Flow, Near, in all the headlines in the middle of a bear market with big ass partnerships. And for me, you build in the bear market, you're going to be rewarded in the next bull market. And they are a new chain just launched in 2020. And that's what I'm saying. It has all that similar characteristics of Cardano. Cardano launching, was it 2017, right? And then coming up into the bull market of 2018, and then basically falling back and coming back with monster gains. This is what I'm saying. Look at this chart. I could see this playing out for Near. And Cardano comes out 2 cents, gets as high as $1.30, and then all the way down to 80 cents, very similar to what we're seeing, or 8 cents, very similar to the price action we're seeing on Near, and then just flatline through the bear market. Tons of opportunity to DCA here. And then we all know what happened with Cardano. And even now with the big pullback, significant, this is still a, was it 20x, 25x from where it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, 4 cents. No, it's a 12x. 3, yeah. Anyways, well over a 10x from bear market to bear market. So if you picked up any Cardano before 2020, you are in the profit. And I could see the same thing playing out when it comes to Near Protocol. What do you got, David?
For me, the big thing, which we had David Morrison on here from Near, for me, the big thing was what they're doing with Java. So they're essentially, you don't have to know Solidity or Haskell or these programming languages that are specific to crypto and blockchain. I'm assuming they are. I don't have a background in that, but they're integrating the most well-known, I think, easiest language when it comes to computer coding. And if anyone knows any better than me, please feel free to correct me. Which over 20 million people are able to program in, and they're allowing people to write contracts on Near using Java. And so you're not going to have this barrier to entry like you have on, let's say, Cardano, even though their developer activity has risen. We all know Haskell is one of the hardest languages to code and write in. And so when you integrate something like Java, which again 20 million people know, this is nothing but positive. I want to pivot to this right here. And I just pulled this up, so I didn't get a chance to kind of break this down. But so the title is Crypto Yields Are Starting to Pay Less Than Government Bonds. And government bonds. The once notoriously high yields provided by crypto lending services are now struggling to compete with more traditional, quote, safer options. USDC deposited into Aave on Ethereum now yields just 0.2%, which is down from 2.4% in mid-May. And even 2.4% was down, and that's thanks to Terra Luna and Three Arrows. By contrast, the U.S. 3-month Treasury bill has tripled from 1% to 3% in the same period. And if I flip over to here to the U.S. 10-year, we haven't seen highs like this since December of 2010. And so what you got to remember is bonds are essentially debt. It's a way for governments, municipalities, and corporations to raise money. And think about it. When these bond rates are higher, and it also a lot of it's based off of what people are willing to buy them at auction for. The Fed holds an auction, or the Treasury Department holds an auction on these assets. Why would these numbers go higher? Why would you make higher or offer higher interest payments? You want people to put more money in, right? So inflation's high. Government can't print the money, so guess what? They're borrowing money in the form of bonds, issuing bonds at higher interest rates. And so, this is
very interesting. Now, Cali Fishing. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Cali says Coinbase will temporarily pause Ethereum and ERC token trading during the merge.
Yes.
I did get an email. Did you get an email on that as well?
Yeah, a lot of these
makes sense. I mean,
yeah,
especially for a publicly traded company with as many users that they have, probably would make the most sense to just pause that trading just for at least that time window.
Yeah, and it's not. Yeah, so if you see, if you're trying to sell your ETH or whatever, trying to move it, and you see it's not available, don't freak out. They're not going under. This is planned, and this is what they're trying to do. Yeah. Did you catch any of my?
Yeah, it was beautiful. So
I'm done. By the way, I don't have any more content.
So we will be on Rice TV today. So really excited about that. So guys, make sure you come check us out. We do got some 64 viewers in the chat here. So if you're new, say what's up. Well, I'd love to give you a shout out here before we sign off. Also, if you haven't had a chance to check out the Sin City Crypto merch store, go check that out as well.
Or join our Discord.
And we did get into Near. If you're a fan of Near Protocol and perked your interest at least, we will be having a deep dive in Near Protocol coming up in the near term, and so make sure you go check that out as well. And then we also have our social media links down in the description as well. We have an active Discord community, so go check that out. Marky Mark runs that community-driven Discord, and and thanks to all the new members. We got some new emojis in the pipeline. I got a good one too. I got in the lab there.
Oh, we're doing a forest one.
Yeah, but we got two. I got two in the bank. I can drop. So
you can do two at one time.
We're gonna add two new emojis. I got the forest emoji, and I got one more.
Oh,
Don't say it.
I'm not gonna say it.
This is great. Here, let's take a look at this before we sign off. This is live liquidations. Up 25% over the last 24 hours. Open interest is down 8.7%, and looks like it's pretty even on the long to shorts. But over $282 million in all of crypto has been liquidated over the last 24 hours, and a majority of them have been the longs. You can see here a total of, and this is over the last 4 hours. If I go to over the last 24 hours, you can see here, out of the 285 million, 207 million were longs that were liquidated, 78 million were shorts, and it breaks it down by exchange. The highest it looks like was BitMEX, saw almost 90% of longs get liquidated. And on the flip side, Bitfinex saw 90% of shorts get liquidated. And you can see here, obviously, this little interactive chart here. Pretty cool breakdown. By the way, if you're you want to know where to find this info, this is coinglass.com, and you can kind of play around with it. It's got order books in here too. So yeah, this is good.
Also, we got somebody new in here, Darker Life. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Yeah.
Darker Life. All right.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, somebody else too, I guess.
Was there somebody else?
Maybe no.
That's it.
All right, we're done.
That's it.
Rocco,
Right.
Done?
We're done.
Okay.
friends, family, friends and family, family and friends. We thank you so much for joining us today and every other day moving forward. If you're new to this community, welcome. We have, I believe, the greatest crypto community out there. Make sure you stay active in the chat. Come join our Discord. On behalf of myself, Robin, and the Don, we love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Vegas time. Until then, peace.
Put you there too.